This playoff season, there's only one place where we'll bet, and that's Fanatics Sportsbook. Yes, they're our presenting sponsor, but it doesn't make sense to bet anywhere else if you're a sports fan. Because when you bet, you earn fan cash, win or lose, which means that your bets get you closer to accumulating fan cash for authentic jerseys, hats, memorabilia, and much more. Winning just hits different with fan cash. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Connecticut residents, call 888-789-7777. Massachusetts residents, call 888-327-5050. New York residents, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Maryland residents, visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Betting and Sweating presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. My name is Andrew Claudio, a.k.a. GMAC, and joining me to make his betting and sweating debut, a long time coming, my fellow Mets fan, my former fellow Jets fan on my side, at least, and one of the more passionate humans you will find in this content space when it comes to talking about the New York Knickerbockers, Mensa. Welcome to Betting and Sweating, sir. How are you?
I am doing great. Looking forward to a really pivotal game 4 here. And what better way to do it than to get a little betting and sweating going on. So, we have our lines prepared and everything. But I'm feeling great and ready to just get right into it.
So we usually start the show with a bit of a how you feeling about the game, not from a gambling standpoint. So in the most concise way that you can, because we want to get out of here before the lottery, how are you feeling about tonight?
How can you not feel as if this is the most important game of like the century for the Knicks?
A little bit.
If the Knicks win this game, they go up 3-1, and I think there's something like a better than 90% chance that they win the series, especially with game 6 being at home. If they lose the game, it's not the end of the series because we're tied 2-2, and then it becomes a best of 3. But 2 of those games being in Boston, that's a pretty major hill to climb. So I'm trying not to be nervous about it because I have a good feeling about this team. I have a good feeling about our star player, Jalen Brunson. I have a good feeling about my guy, Josh Hart. Got the Josh Hart t-shirt on.
Okay.
I think the Knicks are going to respond after watching games 1 and 2, and this is where I landed. After watching games 1 and 2, where Tom Thibodeau outcoached Mazzulla in by my estimation, watching Mazzulla kind of get back in front, I think Tom Thibodeau is going to try his best to flip the series again, and I think we'll see some positive regression for the New York Knicks on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm looking forward to a really good game tonight.
Well, we'll see if we get a little news during this program about something Tibbs might do in making an adjustment, potentially involving Josh Hart. Maybe it'll involve Mitchell Robinson. Maybe it involve the Knicks starting 5. But one thing that all of you can do as we transition into betting and sweating is you could take advantage of something that Knicks Film School is doing with you, as well as our friends at Fanatics Sportsbook. And it's that you could win $100 in fan cash. It is not too late to submit your entries. All you have to do is go to Twitter and tweet out your bet slip for game 4. You have to tag Knicks Film School at Nick Film School, SKOOL, Fanatics Book. So those 2 accounts at Fanatics Book, and do hashtag sweepstakes on Twitter, and you'll be entered for a chance to win. And we will give away $100 in fan cash. You can go to fanatics.com, get a piece of apparel, whether it be the hat that I'm wearing, the Mets hat that Mensa's wearing. I don't know if it's available at Fanatics, but you can get a Mets hat at Fanatics Sportsbook, at fanatics.com. Or speaking of the Sportsbook, you could use it to place bonus bets for game 5 and beyond, or throughout the NBA playoffs. Let's get into some of our picks for today as we're betting and sweating at Mensa. We have our scoring system. We start with our 1-point question, give a spread, money line, or total bet from today's game. Mensa, the floor is yours. Your first betting and sweating pick.
We're gonna go with the heart here, and we're gonna take Knicks ML at plus 200. I think this is a must-win game for the New York Knicks, and in a must-win game, I like Tom Thibodeau, as we know, as our rent due Tibbs. This is more like foreclosure Tibbs.
This is eviction notice Tibbs.
This is eviction notice Tom Thibodeau. Jalen Brunson, especially with the billboard material that Drew Holiday just gave the Knicks, that, oh, you got to keep Jalen Brunson because he likes to draw fouls. I'm expecting Jalen Brunson to come out hot. I'm expecting layup line Mikal Bridges. I'm expecting confident shooting Josh Hart. Everything. I'm expecting Cat to come out and probably not get into foul trouble. That'd be great if you just like don't foul, twice in 12 minutes, please. Let's just not do that tonight. Yeah, I think the Knicks win. So that's the bet that I'm going with. Knicks go up 3-1, and we get into really, really crazy territory.
What's the bet that Sean likes to go to? It's available at Fanatics. It's 2 threes in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's his favorite bet. Yeah.
Yeah, we should ask Fanatics if they'll give us 2 fouls in the first 3 minutes for Cat. I'm taking it. Believe me, I don't know what odds you could give me that I wouldn't take it, to be honest. This is, like you said, a bet with the heart. I'm betting with my heart a little bit, and unfortunately, with my first pick, I'm going Knicks under 100.5 points at plus 100. Here's the deal. I hope this doesn't hit. I hope the Knicks hit this. It means their offense will have figured something out in this series. They haven't yet. Again, I'm waiting to see if the starting lineup gets announced in this game, Mensa. In regulation, the Knicks haven't scored 101 points yet. They scored 100 in game 1, 91 in game 2, 93 in game 3. This is get plus money at the Knicks to go under 100 points in this game. Not even under 100 points, 101 points. Just seems like really good value. It's simply that calculation there. Good value. I hope it doesn't hit, Knicks fans. If you want, this can be a bit of an emotional hedge if you'd like. Hey, if they're still not going to figure out the Celtics defense, by all means, please go ahead and make some money off of it. I have a friend that came up to me at the watch party on Saturday that they were so nervous about game 3, Mensa, that they bet the Celtics to win in 6 because the odds had improved so much. And I was so mad at them before the game. And then when I saw them at halftime, I was like, hey, it's a pretty good bet. Those played there. So Knicks under 100.5 points is where I'm going. Again, this has hit every game of the series so far in regulation.
Yeah, I like that. Especially because the Knicks are 2-1 in those games. So if that hits, we got
97-93. It means this hits and this hits and yours hits. Okay.
Yeah, so I love it.
I'll take it. Next, we go to our op bet. Speaking of the Boston Celtics, a Celtics themed bet for today. I get to go first. Did you listen to the Bill Simmons podcast today by any chance?
I did not get a chance to listen to Bill Simmons today, no.
So as much as I fully enjoyed 2 Bostonians talking about this series, and this take has been put out there a little bit to a bunch of different from a bunch of different places. The Knicks did not have an answer for Peyton Pritchard in game 3. Not a lot of teams have. This is the 6th man of the year, so it's not a crazy thing just to say that he can get 11 points in this game. The Knicks could win the game and him get 11 points. I don't understand how this is plus money. He's going to get shot attempts. He's going to get a ton of minutes as well. Sam Hauser is officially out for this game. I see Mazzulla tapping into this a lot. Him on the floor, just especially after what he did in game 3. So it seems like I was actually shocked by his lack of productivity in games 1 and 2. Because he's become a bit of a secret weapon. Remember how you're old enough to remember this, the late 2000s version of the Celtics, the Paul Pierce, Garnett, Allen, and it was like, oh, they have a big 3. And then suddenly Rondo came along and became like the most important player of that offense and of that roster because he coordinated all of it. Peyton Pritchard is sneakily like the perfect 6th man to this team. That it was supposed to be just like a throw in or a rotation piece. And now he's like arguably their 5th best player. So, and maybe even their 4th best player on some nights. So I will go Peyton Pritchard, 11 plus points. You're getting him at plus money for him to hit this. So that'll be my first pick.
Yeah, I like that a lot, especially because the Knicks' best point of attack defender, or the way Tom Thibodeau sees it, I should say, is Mikal Bridges, and he's not going to spend any time guarding Peyton Pritchard. Deuce McBride will probably get that assignment, but even then, Deuce might spend more time on a Derek White or Drew Holiday. So Peyton Pritchard is really going to be going at um, campaign. Jalen Brunson, not the Knicks' strongest defenders, and it kind of coincides with my bet here actually because the way the Celtics have been playing, or at least the narrative around their star player, is that he gets carried. So Peyton Pritchard doing a little bit of carrying tonight with Jason Tatum here, which was my bet, under 27.5 points at minus 125. He was on fire against the Orlando Magic in the final three games of the series, averaging scoring 37, 36, and 35 respectively in the final three games. Against the Knicks, 23 points on 7 of 23 shooting. May 7th, game 2, 42 minutes here. 13 points on 5 of 19, and on May 10th, game 3, blowout win for the Celtics. He plays 40 minutes in it, shoots 20 shots, and only scores 22 points. I don't know how this line is so high, especially with OG Anunoby playing the way he's playing, especially with Tom Thibodeau going out of his way essentially to say Jason Tatum is not going to beat us in this series. The Celtics are talented enough that they can still win even if Jason Tatum doesn't beat you, but I don't see how, especially the way it's been trending in this series. Jason Tatum, I don't think he's scoring 28 points tonight. I'd be surprised if he gets above 25.
So we fill a little behind the scenes, folks. We fill out our picks earlier in the day, and then I add them into the back end of StreamYard. Mets, I'm happy to report the line has moved to 26.5. So if you'd like, I can give you better odds. Jason Tatum under 26.5 at minus 105. Or you can take the okay. We are switching this up, folks. So Jason Tatum under 26.5 at minus 105 is now Mensa's pick. Funny enough, if this could go down to 24.5 if we'd like to, and probably get us better odds. And it still will have hit every game of this series. His series high for points in a game so far this series is 23 points, as you just said. So we're talking about a job being done by OG Anunoby that, and really the Knicks in general with their switching, that he has not been able to score as much as he did, like you said, in the Orlando series where he went nuts. And look, this is just below 26.5 is his regular season average. He averaged 26.8 points per game. So that's what Fanatics is asking you to do. Are you taking his season average, or at least the under on his season average? We'll see what happens tonight. We move on to our parlay for today. Put together a parlay 2 to 3 legs for 3 points. Mensa, where are you going with this?
All right, so I'm going with a few things that have been happening over the series. I like Mikal Bridges to get 3+ assists. I like Karl Towns to get 10 rebounds, and Josh Hart to get 10 points. That is at plus 160, but Fanatics, because they are so generous, is boosting that to us to plus 176. I love that. This is just how I've been noticing the series has trended. Josh Hart usually gets a lot of assists, but the Celtics have decided to leave him open and make him work as a scorer. And Josh Hart has responded pretty well in the series. With, I think he's averaging like 11 points per game in the series. So to get 10, just pulling it up really quickly. Okay, so in the blowout, he had 10 points. May 7th, game 2, he had 23 points. And on game 1, he had 14. So just keeping it pretty consistent with what he's done through the first 3 games of the series. Karl Towns is a rebounding monster, especially in that starting 5. At one point, he was having the best defensive rebounding season in the NBA this year. So I'm just going to trust that Karl Towns continues to be a vacuum. And Mikal Bridges, who has not been operating much as a scorer, but he's been giving you everything. He's been giving you rebounds. He's been giving you assists. He's been giving you a lot of defense, definitely. I think last game he had 2 assists, but other than that, he's been above it in the other 2 games. So just hoping that this series trends the way it has been trending and we get something close to 2-1 odds on it. So I love this parlay.
It's not last game's not the example to go to for why someone didn't get a lot of assists on the Knicks. Yeah. They didn't hit a ton of shots.
There you go.
It's the second half of the assist calculation didn't convert a ton, where the passes were made, but the shots didn't go in, unfortunately. Good parlay, Mensa. I'm going a little bit more conservative with mine, which I got good odds on, though. I'm just going 2 legs, and I'm going Jason Tatum, 11 rebounds, Josh Hart, 10 plus rebounds. If all goes as I think it might in a little bit, there may be some Josh Hart off the bench rebounds that are factored in, that boost of energy off the bench. You're getting plus 275 on the regular odds, and then you boost it up to 302. I mean, 3-1 for 2 guys that consistently get around 10 rebounds. There's another line you could go to where in the rebound section of Fanatics, you can just bet that Josh Hart and Jason Tatum combine for 22 rebounds and it's plus money. But here, as an actual parlay, if you want to especially take advantage of the Fanatics boost, I'm going with Josh Hart and Jason Tatum here.
I love that. Josh Hart this series has not been the best rebounder or not been his normal self on the glass. Game 1 he had 11, but in games 2 and 3 he only had 6 there. But you can always bet on positive regression. And Jason Tatum is the nominal power forward in Boston, and Boston center rotation is probably their weak point right now with an unhealthy Kristaps Porzingis, 40-year-old Al Horford, and once a Nick, always a Nick, Luke Cornett. So, yeah, I think that they're going to need Tatum to hit the glass, especially if he's not going to be a scorer. He has to contribute in other ways. That's how superstars remain superstars and, give you that production. So I like this parlay a lot, especially at 3-1 odds. Yeah, I would take that all day, every day. I love that.
3-1. And it's funny that Josh Hart rebounds is the thing that you're like, I don't know. Is he going to be able to get there? Guy's been a rebounding machine all season. Jason Tatum had 16 rebounds in game 1, 14 in game 2, and had 9 in game 3, where his team barely missed. And even though he still played 40 minutes, it was mostly on the perimeter. It just seems like the Tatum part of this, I think, is an easier calculation than the Josh Hart one. And to your point, it being 3-1 was my calculation there. You're wearing a Mets hat. Francisco Lindor hit a home run yesterday. Brandon Nimmo hit a home run yesterday.
Yes,
Mark
sir.
Vientos hit a home run yesterday. I was in the building for Brett Beatty's 2 home runs yesterday. The Mets had a ton of home runs against the Cubs this weekend. It's time for our home run swing. Home run bets plus 300 or greater. Neither of us decided to go for a wall scraper that just went over the fence. We both are swinging for the upper deck. We're trying to hit it out of Citi Field. I will start with mine. I'm going with Karl Anthony Towns to be the top point scorer is plus 1,000. It's a home run swing for a reason, and it's plus 1,000 for a reason. Do you know how many Knicks playoff games that Karl Anthony Towns has been the top point scorer for this season, Mensa?
I feel like it only happened one time against Detroit.
Happened game 3 against Detroit. And in that same game, he had 31 and Brunson had 30 and missed a bunch of free throws. So, it was right there. Oh, no, not only did he miss a bunch of free throws, he missed the last free throw that led to Detroit getting that possession at the end. And then he missed another one that cost me hitting Knicks plus 2.5, minus 2.5, which not still bitter about that at all. Would have been a perfect betting and sweating night. So this is a home run swing. This is a vote of confidence in foreclosure eviction notice Tibbs. This is a vote of confidence in Karl Anthony Towns and his ability to have his first, I don't say his first good game in the series, his first complete game of this series on offense. Maybe they work out some things for him to do a little bit easier. Maybe some threes start falling for him in this series. Maybe the emphasis was just put him up, man. Just get 8 up and we'll see what happens. We're one of the best shooters ever. So I'm hoping against some evidence throughout the first 3 games that some changes are made tonight, which is why Karl Anthony Towns to be the top point scorer, which he's done several, dozens of times this year for the Knicks in general. Plus 1,000 seems like good odds. So my swing for the upper deck is Jalen. You're buried the lead. Is Karl Anthony Towns plus 1,000. Go ahead, Mensa.
I love all these picks. I'm not going to lie. At plus 1,000 for Karl Anthony Towns, who is arguably the most talented offensive basketball player in this game. I know the way the series has been going. I know that he's only hit 1 3 in the entire series. I get all that. Karl Anthony Towns is a dog. I'm sorry. I know that people like to say that, he's a little zesty or this or that or whatever. He is a phenomenal offensive basketball player, and he's doing it pretty much exclusively without being a finisher in the pick and roll, which is really one of his strengths since he's been in the NBA. Karl Towns, if they allow him to post, and they should, if he gets a whistle tonight, because he has not been getting a generous foul call at all. And if he can get some threes up on the board, this is a there's a very easy path to him scoring 30 points in the first half of a basketball game, because he's just that talented. And the Celtics do like to employ some drop, which is not something that I would like to see them do against the Knicks, because the Knicks will burn you. Jalen Brunson, please burn them tonight. But yeah, just Karl Anthony Towns at 10-1 odds to be the top point scorer in any basketball game. This is a guy who led an all-star game in scoring. I think he scored like 50 points in an all-star game one time. Like this,
right.
These odds are insane, and it's a great bet.
And I'll just add, so the other one I was looking at for a little required fewer stones for him to hit 3 threes tonight was plus 475. So if you want to go swing for the third row instead of the third deck, that's a decent bet. And then just like game 2, he was 2 points behind Josh Hart for the game's leading scorer. So like he almost hit this earlier in the series. So 10-1 odds for someone that almost did this 2 games ago. Again, feels like a good value bet for me. Where are you swinging for, Mensa?
We are going to take the Jalen Brunson 40 ball at plus 900. Today on Twitter, I made an analogy, and I guess I'll bring it here. In one of my favorite mangas ever, Jujutsu Kaisen, there's this character called Maharaga, and his strength is like over the course of a fight, he has this power of adaptation, and over time, it's just a matter of time before he adapts and then he kills you. That is Jalen Brunson. It is only a matter of time before Jalen Brunson adapts to what the Celtics are doing. It is only a matter of time before he adapts to Derek White, before he adapts to Drew Holiday, and gives them the hell that they deserve. Jalen Brunson 40 ball. I think this is the biggest game of his career so far. And one thing about Jalen Brunson, clutch player of the year, he is going to show up in front of this Madison Square Garden crowd. And I think he has a keynote performance. I think this is the performance that we will look at 5, 10, 15 years down the line and say, this is when Jalen Brunson made himself immortal. I'm taking the Jalen Brunson 40 ball tonight at plus 900.
So some breaking news, not really news because it's the same starters for the New York Knicks tonight. Apparently the lease is not that overdue in the Thibodeau apartment today. We'll see. We'll see what happens tonight. So the Knicks will start their regular starting 5. So those Josh Hart rebounds will probably come in 40 minutes. Whoever is betting them. It's time for us to go to our betting and sweating picks, official picks for tonight. Shout out, by the way, the Jalen Brunson 40 burger is welcomed, believe me, especially with what will potentially be on the court tonight, and may come up when I make my pick as well. So here are the 3 official betting and sweating picks that are in the Fanatic Sportsbook app. Shout out to the fine folks at Fanatic Sportsbook. Mitchell Robinson, 8+ rebounds for John Macri at plus 175. For Jeff, Miles McBride, 6+ points, plus 110, plus money for Deuce to get 6 points. It's 2 threes. Please hit this, Deuce. And then Sean, for the game, Knicks plus 1.5 at plus 165. I would assume that'd be annoying. No. The Knicks would have to win by 1 for him to
lose. They would have to lose by 1.
Lose by 1 for him to
or win
hit.
or win.
Yeah. So if they win, Knicks win in any scenario he hits, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Knicks lose by 1. This also hits. Okay.
Yes.
I do know gambling. I promise you. I'm still trying to work out the odds in the spread. Okay. So these are the official picks for tonight in the app. Now it's time for us to make our official picks. Mensa, where are you going?
All right. So for me, just going to pull it up because I made so many picks. We're going to go Josh Hart under 4.5 assists. That is my best bet for tonight. Again, Josh Hart, the Boston Celtics have made him into a scorer. They're forcing him to shoot threes, and they're kind of taking him out of his playmaking bag. The first 3 games of this series, he is only he's averaging exactly 3. He's at 3 assists in 45 minutes. He's at 3 assists in 43 minutes, and 3 assists in 34 minutes. Under 5 assists for Josh Hart at plus money is just taking the trend from what I'm seeing, especially if we're going to win this game. And I can imagine Tom Thibodeau's strategy is going to be to slow the game down, put the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands, and let him go to work. So I expect a lot of isolation ball from the Knicks tonight. Josh Hart will probably do his thing in transition. He'll definitely get some assists, but I can see him being more of a 3-point threat tonight than him getting assists. So I expect Josh Hart to hit shots, not so much create shots for other guys. So I'm taking Josh Hart under 4.5 assists at plus 110.
Yeah, to your point, this has hit every game of this series so far. And going back to the Detroit series, it hit game 6 as well. So this has hit in the last 4 straight playoff games. And you're getting, as far as his average, to your point of him averaging 3 assists in the series, so you're getting an extra point for him to hit the under on this. So good calculation from a value standpoint, Mensa. You had your home run bet being Jalen Brunson at 40 plus points. This is a man that, at least as far as I'm concerned, has been a machine with 30 plus points. So I'll go Jalen Brunson with, again, less modest on my, a little less chutzpah on my end, or as emphasis as you have. I'm hoping for a Jalen Brunson 30 burger at least. That should be enough to give the Knicks a good chance to win. And you're getting plus money from a guy that seems to always go for 30 in playoff games. And I think tonight will be the night that he finds some soft spots in the Celtics defense, which he hasn't seemed to find yet in this series. So Jalen Brunson plus money, plus 120 to get 30 points is my official best bet, my betting and sweating pick for tonight. Okay, Mensa, that was betting and sweating. You want to do some bonus bets before we get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it.
So for 1 point, give me a line or spread from a different game going on tonight. I'm going to go first. The Warriors do play Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo tonight in Golden State. I'm going to say they even up the series at home, plus 175. Good money for the home team. That was a close game down the stretch. They're leaning into their defense. I think these are the correct odds. They shouldn't be favored in this game, even though they're at home, but they're also staring down the barrel of 3-1 if they lose. So some desperation potentially coming out of them tonight. I think I'm going to trust the veteran Golden State Warriors team, even though Minnesota, if you're for real, you should take care of business in this game. But I'll take Golden State at home to tie up the series. Where are you going with your bet, Mensa?
We're going to take Mets run line against the lowly Pittsburgh Pirates. I know Paul Skeens is pitching tonight. He's a good pitcher. The Mets are on a new level as far as hitting goes for my life as a Mets fan. I'm used to the Mets having excellent pitching and winning games 3-1. The Mets are opening the door early and they're not shutting it until late. I expect the Mets to do a lot like what they've been doing over the course of the season and win this game something like 6-2, 7-3, the way the Mets have been playing. So yeah, Mets run line at plus 140. I love that.
I'll just add, when the Mets lose, it's by 1 run. When they win, it's by multiple. So this is the correct. If you're betting the Mets to win, you don't bet the money line. You bet the run line, because they never win by 1 run. It's always multiple runs. And then it's the excruciating 1-run loss that we have to endure and potentially be in attendance for. How about a prop bet, a player prop bet from out of town tonight?
Yeah, we are going with a familiar face around these parts. We're taking Julius Randle over 20.5 points at minus 130, I should say. This is really a bet going with the trend of the series. Julius Randle, when he was a Knick, would go on West Coast trips and just annihilate the entire West Coast. I'm happy to see that that's keeping up with this series against the Golden State Warriors. And more than anything else, I'm just proud that Julius Randle has been able to, get these playoff demons off his back. I was a skeptic of his when he was here. Not sure. And I think the Knicks did make the right trade in going for a guy like Karl Anthony Towns in terms of the way he fits with this roster. But very happy to see Julius Randle finding success. Very happy to see that the Warriors can't guard him. And I expect that to trend again with Julius Randle getting at least 21 points tonight.
As someone else who was very defensive of Julius. Well, I should add someone who was defensive of Julius and his struggles, especially during the playoffs when he was here. It also warms my heart. Said as much on Game Theory a couple weeks ago when they defeated the Lakers to eliminate them. And it's why I'm also going with the Julius Randle bet. Now, here's the deal. He hasn't hit this yet in this series. I'm going 2+ 3-pointers at plus 100. He is getting a ton of threes up. Now he only took 3 in game 1, but like everybody on the Timberwolves missed in game 1. And going back to that last game where they closed out the Lakers, they're just like not hitting threes as a team. So this is a pick of regression, but also the fact that in the three of the 4 playoff games against the Lakers before that game 5 that has started this cold streak for the Timberwolves, this hit. And most importantly, the volume is there. He's getting up 5 to 6 a game. 2 for 6 hits here. Like, that's all I'm asking for from Julius. We've seen it where we're like, man, Julius hasn't been hitting his threes lately, and then he comes out in the first quarter and hits 2. So I'll go Julius Randle with 2+ 3-pointers made at plus 100, and that was betting and sweating for tonight. So my thought, Mensa, of this potentially being a show that we scrap everything because the Knicks announced a new starting 5 did not come to fruition. So I asked you at the beginning how you feeling. I'll ask you at the end how you feeling. How you feeling, Mensa?
Knicks got to win tonight, man.
Yes, they do.
I just can't see a world where the Knicks come out flat. I can't see a world where Tom Thibodeau doesn't put out maybe his best coaching game of his life. I cannot see a world where Jalen Brunson doesn't come out gangbusters looking for blood. And I think that this Celtics team and Celtics fan base is very cocky, and they won one game and it kind of feels like, all right, all's back with the world. We're all fine. Nah, you're not fine. The Knicks are going to punch you in your mouth again tonight. I'm taking the Knicks to win, and I'm really confident with that.
I'm going to ride your confidence into this, Mensa. I need that energy. I need that emphasis. I can't say I can't say that I can't see any of that happening. I will say that I hope we don't see any of the bad things happening, and I hope we do see any of the good things that potentially happen, specifically a Knicks win to go up 3-1 on the Boston Celtics. Thank you to our friends over at Fanatic Sportsbook. We greatly appreciate it. Remember, as always, folks, well, first of all, join us on the post-game show because we'll have plenty of reaction to whatever happens tonight. But remember, earn up to 10% back on your bets, win or lose. Use Fan Cash on Team Gear on Fanatics.com. Bonus bets or profit boosts in Fanatic Sportsbook app. Stay tuned for exclusive offers all playoffs long. That was Mensa. I am Andrew. Until next time, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the game tonight, and we will speak with you soon. Peace.